so that good people wouldn't stand up against them. So when you sign on to this criminal government, you sign on to children being raped and then having their heads blown off with .357 Magnums and snuff films. That's what goes on, okay? That's who runs this country. People that like to blow children's heads off. People that like to rape children in front of their parents. That's in the Army's own report on Abu Ghraib. And Bush says he'd do it all over again. He'd give the orders again. John Hughes orders. Alberto Gonzales memo about crushing children's testicles with pliers. That is land of the free, home of the brave. And Americans watch Jack Bauer doing similar things and fantasize about it and become synthetic psychopaths. We are on a journey into absolute hell, and they're trying to test us now to see if we go along with it. All right, I'm done ranting. Our guest is on hold. Big developments on the TSA front. And if you're doubting me, the Army's own reports, I've had the former head of the Army DU program on, Dr. Doug Rockey, physicist and doctor. Their own reports that are public said you breathe in a few microns of this, you're going to get lung cancer, you're going to get liver cancer, you're going to get urethra cancer, you're going to get kidney cancer. It's going to kill you. May take 10 years. They started using it 20 years ago. Now they use it everywhere. They just don't care. Just like they don't care these radiation scanners are going to end up killing the people that are using them. Just like they got 500 mobile vans, super high power that dwarf chest x-rays, looking through your walls, no shielding for the operators. They don't care. They know the operators are in a self-induced mind control television culture trance. Think about it. People are actually in a trance, and they will get in those vehicles and kill themselves. You know, almost all of them within just a few years will come down with cancer. We've had medical doctors on and radiologists. They don't care. If they can run child kidnapping rings and have the troops breathe DU and announce they're going to take the troops' health care away, we're in a soft kill concentration camp, okay? But they're not ready to move yet. They're starting to announce they want to censor the web. They're starting to announce they want to censor the internet. They're starting to be more bold because they're getting ready. And they're going to stage false flag attacks. I talked to Ventura. He said he can feel it. He can see it getting ready. I agree with him this morning. They're going to go for broke. And you'll see all the American flags go out and all the worship of the Homeland Security neighborhood spies when they nuke a city or when they release a bioweapon. And I'm telling you, they're the ones that are behind it, just like they're behind everything else. And all of you TSA people and all you FBI people and you CIA folks that are compartmentalized and think you're the good guy, so you were put in a different compartment on the light side, you better grow up right now and realize, and you intellectually know I'm telling you the truth. In your gut, you've got a survival instinct God gave you. You know this is real. From the heart. You know I'm risking my life to do this. It's not a risk. I care about this species. Even more than I care about my wife and children. Because they don't have a future if I don't stand up. And we're all in danger, and that's the way it is. And I'm all in. I'm like, God, I'm going in all the way. I'm hardcore. Energize me. I'm ready. That's the end of it, terrorist. Child rapers, we're coming for you. You understand that? You may use your 501c3 brainwashed churches to tell Christians it's the end of the world, so they stand down and go along with this. But we're going to rebuke you. All right, I'm done ranting. And I'm sorry to have our guests holding. We're holding 5 minutes in the next hour. The head of Dr. Mercola. But I wanted to get an update from Gary Fielder, law.com. Gary Fielder, criminal and constitutional lawyer from Denver. He sued and got him to stop body scanning under 18s at the courthouse. He's done a lot more on that front. And now he has filed for injunction against cousin Janet and the TSA. And I wanted to get an update from him on what he's doing. Gary, good to have you on with us.
Mr. Alex Jones, thank you so much for having me on your show.
What do you think of the stuff I just covered in the last 5 minutes?
Well, that was an eye-opening experience. Every time I listen to your show, I learn more and more. And there's not a part of it that I can say you're exaggerating 1 millimeter. It's coming down the line. All of us see it, from grandma to the little kids. They all see it. And all you got to do is point it out. Like, for example, when you talk about TV, anybody that watches TV ought to know that they're being brainwashed at a very sophisticated level. And so when you're walking around Walmart, you might even consciously disagree with what you're hearing or what you're seeing, but they're bombarding our subconscious.
Yes.
And they're implanting it in a very sophisticated way to keep our subconscious in fear so that our conscious mind ultimately reacts to that fear.
And in fear of each other, you've got this authority figure on a big TV telling you to watch everyone when we should be watching her. She works for the terrorist.
Well, I am not enjoying this experience of putting my name on a pleading next to hers. That's for sure. And I have nothing personal to say about her. But when you're just a little bitty person and you take on the largest country in the world, it does make me feel a little apprehensive. And I know that there's a gentleman in Little Rock, Arkansas, that's filed, I think, a somewhat similar action. But in this circumstance, being a lawyer, being at least educated on this particular issue, I felt it was my duty to file something, to get this not only in the public eye, but to get it in the courts so that we hear from them. I want to know what the judge has to say. And it's going to be a very sophisticated approach. It's going to come down to expert witnesses. It's going to come down to how well I, move myself through the procedure, which is always a matrix that, as a small person, as a lawyer that is a solo practitioner in a small family office, I'm going to be going up against the United States Attorney General's office, and I doubt they'll concede my petition.
No, you have a lot of courage, but I would surmise, and correct me if I'm wrong, at your gut level, because you love humanity and you're a decent person, you must sue Napolitano. You must put yourself in their sights, because if we give in, they're going to roll over us anyway. So all we can do is stand up against them.
And I'm telling you, Alex, this is not just some esoteric issue that I'm bringing before the court. I had heard that they were moving in the direction of these body scanners throughout the country. They have 2 of them here in Denver, but they still have sort of a standalone metal detector that you can choose to get in that line. And when I went to San Diego for my 20th year law school reunion, I took my children along because it was just going to be a long weekend. We had plans, and we did go to SeaWorld, and we really enjoyed some beautiful weather. But I was not aware that in California they had changed the policy so that you had to choose between the body scanner and the full pat-down. I had always sort of convinced myself that at every level I could talk my way out of it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's psychological warfare. They always give little outs, but then close them down slower and slower, because they know if they give an animal, this is animal psychology, an escape route or a believed escape route, they won't turn and fight. And then they want to get you finally cornered and then chew your guts out.
And if you have gone through it personally, then it's more than just an intellectual issue. It is a degradation of your human rights.
Look, I had Ron Paul on. They actually grab his genitals. I mean, this is the new America.
I walked up there, and I had not seen the sort of backscatter X-ray machines. I had seen the twirly ones that you get into, and those look a little ominous. But these backscatter ones, they just look like 2 big black carpeted boxes. And everyone was lined up, and no one was opting out. So when I got up to the actual secured area, and of course, we're experienced travelers, even my small child. We know to put the sandals on, wear very light clothing. We load our things in the bucket very quickly. We're very experienced travelers. So when I walked up there, I asked the gentleman, I said, "Hey, what is that?" And he said something that included the word scanner. And I said, "Well, we're not going into that thing at all." So immediately you get led around into a secured area, and, they got a little spot for your feet to go, and you're disconnected from your property. You're in their jurisdiction. You're on their land, and you have 2 choices at that point. Either stay where you're at, which for us was 1,000 miles from home, or be subjected to this body scan.
And now they're expanding to the Walmarts, the highways. This is the Nazification, the Sovietization of America. Stay there. I want to finish your story, but then I want to get into your lawsuit and where this is going. Ladies and gentlemen, you notice how fast things are moving now. They are attempting a total soft coup.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic
is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
Attention shoppers, please stay in line. You must be scanned and searched before entering the mall area. Attention, you must disrobe and pass through the scanner at mall security before entering the building.
Hey, most GCN listeners know that the future of Christmas shopping may quite well be that scary. And while we're not there yet, as shoppers, we still face terrible traffic, crazy lines, and even crazier shoppers. But this year can be different. You can still opt out of the craziness and do your shopping off the grid by going to offthegridchristmas.com, where you'll find our new Christmas video featuring an amazing assortment of truly hard-to-get gifts. Gifts you simply won't find in stores. These are gifts that can help anyone on your list become better prepared for the hard times ahead. And here's the best part. Prices have been slashed until December 15th. This year, opt out of the lines. You won't get fined. You'll get great discounts on all kinds of off-the-grid gear by going to offthegridchristmas.com. Go to offthegridchristmas.com. That's offthegridchristmas.com.
Well, a month ago in D.C., it even came out in mainstream news, the FBI went out and found mentally ill people, tried to create a plot with inert explosives to blow up subways. Then we heard about it, the plan to blow up the Christmas tree lighting in Oregon. Turned out that was a teenager completely set up. They go out and find lunatics. You or I could do this. Here's another story. Man arrested at recruitment center, bomb plot in Baltimore, Maryland. He was arrested Tuesday for plotting to blow up a military recruitment center, authorities said. The man was caught in a sting operation and was plotting to blow up an armed forces recruiting station in Cantonsville, where he believed to be a bomb, a vehicle bomb, the U.S. attorney said. But they went on to say there was no actual danger to the public as the explosives were inert and the suspect had been carefully monitored by law enforcement for months. So they go out and find real nuts. Then they make bombs for them. But in the case of 93 World Trade Center, the FBI actually made a real bomb, ordered the informants to let it take place. So I guess we should thank Obama. At least they're just doing staged events that aren't real. Kind of like the